Hey everybody, so we haven't been on for a little bit since like E3 maybe, and we're just going to talk about everything that we've done over the summer and maybe what's gone on in Gamescom recently. So stick around because this is Birds of Play.
Okay.
Somehow we've recovered from the barren wastes and battlefields of E3 with our battle medic abilities, MMO, World of Warcraft, StarCraft. My name is Jossie Tyler McCrone. Welcome to a fabulous episode of Birds of Play. I'm joined by
Nathan Dean.
and
Ryan Taronis.
So boys, let's get, the Gamescom stuff is mainly just
Yes.
some checklists. So we're going to get through that first. Then we're going to talk about what we did over the summer as little Game Boys.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Dean, tell us what happened at Gamescom.
So at Gamescom,
I don't know.
at Gamescom, one of the major announcements we have is the new graphics card, which is the GeForce RTX 2080, which is released on September 20th, and then the RTX 2080 Ti for $1,000, $300 more, same time. And they're also going to make a RTX 2070, which will be $500 coming in October 2018.
What did you guys think of that conference?
I didn't watch most of it.
I have some words about it.
I didn't see a lot of it. I was focusing on playing more games than watching it. But I did, I thought it was cool to see the GTX stuff or the RTX now stuff was cool to see. I didn't see a lot of the announcements. I saw it after the fact, like Cyberpunk stuff and all that.
Yeah, I would say some of the highlights, but
It was okay.
I guess I forgot there was a Gamescom.
Yeah,
Like
I
after
kinda-
E3 was
yeah,
over, I'm like,
couple
all right,
days
so
in.
now we know what we got. And then Gamescom came around. They're like, hey, remember the games we just announced? Let's show it again. And I was
Well, like about the specific graphics card conference. Did you guys watch that one?
No.
I didn't see much from it, but I just saw that. I mean, some friends were talking about how
Yeah.
great it actually looks, and
I watched a couple of it. They did a thing that I don't like, where they make up a new number and
yeah.
a new measuring system. And they're like, it's way faster using these new numbers, and it's like, but that's not; those aren't real. Like what you just said isn't a real thing.
This R, it's not a G anymore.
Exactly.
That's more letters.
And that's supposed to mean something to me. And it was like 3 hours long. However, the card looks nice.
Yeah.
It's
pretty.
dang nice. I won't be picking one up
Yeah.
because it's super expensive. It's only going to go up more
Yeah.
because of the dang cryptocurrency miners.
Those miners out there. Get your Bitcoin.
But I mean,
that was great.
new tech is always good tech. But
Yeah.
we're not a tech show, even
No.
though that's what we're advertised as.
We
We're
like
a
the
gaming
games that
show.
could play
Let's
on
talk about the games.
Games we got.
Hit us with it, Natty
We
Ice.
actually got to see some gameplay from Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
I saw
which
some
is
great
Samurai
games.
Souls.
Looks really good.
Holy hell, it doesn't. I'm the resident Dark Souls expert here. It doesn't look like Dark Souls,
Right.
but BuzzFeed, get
not always a bad
get your clickbait articles writing now. That's a good thing.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm terrible at those games.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I don't know if I'll buy it. I'm gonna see if it's available for rent maybe, but just because I know
I
that
want a
I'll be
rage
upset
game.
with it. So.
Yeah. We'll go down the list and we'll talk about specifics after
Yeah.
we get through the list.
Obviously, point and click games are the next thing, and they're the
They're
best
coming
thing.
back.
So the best thing to talk about are Life is Strange 2. That's going to be coming out.
I'm very
We
excited.
also have the Dark Pictures anthology, Man of Medan.
Wait, is that Dooku?
It's it's made by the same people that made Until Dawn.
oh.
So it's gonna be like
Yeah.
something about I saw the trailer this morning. It was something a mixture of hey, let's go on this boat. We're all cool teens or college kids, and then
We're
they go
gonna
on a
have
boat.
sex
And they're
on
like,
this
there's
boat."
something haunted about this water, and then there's something in the water, and then there's something on the boat. And they did a scene that reminded me of Insidious. I'm like, that scene looks like it was.
They're doing
I've seen
the
this
Dooku
before.
for games, which I appreciate.
But it looks spooky, and it's coming out next
Until
year.
Dawn was a great game.
It's a great game.
Great, fantastic game.
I don't have any commentary on
I
that.
only think like a man
don't play
because
these point
at the end of
and
my playthrough, all the guys lived and all the women died.
Of course. Wow. Of course. Bros before hoes, man.
Some exciting, but I'm on the edge about it.
like we're all
Some
disgusted by
new,
that joke.
some new characters were announced for Jump Force,
Yeah.
and we still have no Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. And
Is that the green guy?
Yeah.
That's the green guy.
And no Aaron from Attack on Titan, which is what people have been wanting, but that was not in the announcement. We did get Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z for all my anime fans out there.
He's got the thing.
He's got the
I
thing.
can't. I want to say it was 2011 that the game came out.
Jump Force?
But
Pretty
We
it's
have
coming out in a little
we're
bit.
bringing back to the good Saints Row. Saints Row the Third.
Saints Row to third.
Saints
Coming
Row
out
one's
on
the best.
Nintendo Switch.
Debate me on it.
I put in my notes. We still like that game, right?
Yeah, that's
was
a good game.
Let's bring it to the Switch.
We got some more trailers for Battlefield 5. The open beta's next month, September.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So
I'm excited for
there's a
that.
beta coming out
It looks
there.
okay.
Yes.
It looks okay.
It'll be fun.
Instead of gameplay, we got screenshots from Cyberpunk 2077. Which
That's all I
prediction,
needed.
The game's still going to come out in 2077. That's why they called it. So when it comes out, they were like, "We told you." Like,
It's
that's
the
it.
day.
It's
The
called
whole time.
Cyberpunk, not Cyberpunk 2077. That's when the game comes out. Big news in Sea of Thieves. They said that there's going to be cursed cannonballs, some kind of
Did
addition.
you just say cursed cannonball?
Cursed cannonballs.
My $60 was worth it.
Let me get my wallet out
some
even
kind
slower.
some kind of addition to the game. That was in there. I didn't see much of it. There's a battle royale game coming out in sci-fi.
I just watched the trailer
It's
for it.
called
Storm
Divers.
Yeah. It's literally what
John's not happy
what
about
battle
that.
royale is. You're diving and you're in a storm. You're a storm diver.
They're
Right,
like, hey,
John?
I got an idea. Let's make a battle royale game where like
Also,
you
it looks
jump
like it's
out.
early access. But it's got
Are
a
there
whole
any other
trailer.
highlights? Are there any other highlights?
I haven't to look more in detail on it, but apparently people are really excited for Team Adventure mode on Forza Horizon 4, and apparently I'm trying to give good announcements here to all different types of gamers out there.
Go through them.
The biggest announcement is obviously a 1.0 full launch on Xbox One for PUBG, September 4th. That's coming out. I read an article that said the biggest news from Gamescom, and this is what was on there.
Those BuzzFeed writers are like, what do we put in?
Finally,
People like PUBG, right?
what everybody wants, Overwatch figures for Lego pieces.
Thank
So-
you.
Oh, that's actually not.
And there was
I like that.
there was a new map in Diva Shore on YouTube. So
That's
what we got.
that's the big news.
That's the
So
big
let's break
news.
down. I want to talk about Sekiro.
Yep.
Like I said, it doesn't look like Dark Souls, and that's a good thing. Clickbait
Yeah.
article. It looks like the game. So here's the thing, right? Dark Souls, we all know it, we all love it. It's big boys
I don't know if I
with
love
big
it.
boards, big shields, going
Lot
to
of
town
roly
on some
boys.
big boys, on some roly boys, right? That was the first game.
Yeah.
You know, it's classic knight stuff, right? And then he didn't make Miyazaki didn't make Dark Souls 2, so that's the problem child. Then Miyazaki was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this game called Bloodborne. There's gonna be no armor, no boards, no swords. We're gonna see how I love this the most. This is the most amazing thing. This is the game I should have been making. He basically Dark Souls 3 is just Bloodborne again with swords.
Yep.
So, and the Bloodborne combat is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I definitely see those influences of just, it's the most pure form of just go fast.
Right.
Gotta get him, hit him. It's amazing. I love that. They have it's a new kind of parry, like rally system, where it's all about knocking them off their feet with blocks and parries and sinking attacks. You got a bandit arm that has stuff in it.
Yeah.
You got a grappling hook.
Yeah,
They give me items.
I've played a lot of For Honor. That sounds just like For Honor.
Exactly. I've been playing a ton of For Honor over the summer. Well, spoilers for the summer discussion. Playing a ton of For Honor from the free stuff at E3. That gameplay is amazing.
Really?
I'm seeing that in Sekiro, but a lot more fast-paced.
Right.
Honestly, you know, turtling is a thing in For Honor. It can get kind of slow. Sekiro is once again, it's just go, get him. And I love that kind of gameplay. It's gonna be bare knuckles to the bone, raw action.
Gentleman's fist.
I'm so excited for it. I was a little worried when they said, there's gonna be like no armor, no weapons, stuff like that. But boy, I'm seeing this gameplay. I'm like, don't need it. Don't even
Who needs
care.
it when you got speed?
Who even wants that
Sonic
stuff?
doesn't wear armor.
Exactly. He doesn't need to.
He's so fast.
He's going so
We're
fast.
still selling Sonic games.
I was trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about. The list kind of felt kind of down after that.
Everyone's ready for PUBG, right? Anyway, on to the Summer Games.
Do you guys want to talk about anything from Gamescom?
There's other games.
All right, Cyberpunk.
Sorry about
I
Cyberpunk.
was reading some GameSpot, not Gamescom. GameSpot had someone that's like a behind the scenes,
Oh, I think I know this
and he
story.
like replied to people on Twitter, like their questions, like they're like, what's the music like? Is it only first person, stuff like that. Apparently, it's first person except for driving, which you can go into third.
Right.
So the music's like Blade Runner meets Inception, which I'm about it. So I'm excited for that game whenever it comes out.
There was some big
maybe
news.
someday.
I want to say either yesterday or Wednesday. The game is now completely playable from start to finish. The assets aren't all complete and the music's all not complete, but Story-wise, from start to finish, it is completely playable. That is fantastic.
Yes.
That's way further along than I thought they were, honestly. I mean, obviously, with this kind of game,
There's no gameplay release either, so.
Well, yeah, that might be like one of the earlier steps of just making sure the story assets work. Because Jesus Christ, I can't imagine how many assets they have to.
They're being careful with the game.
Yeah.
Just
But
they just need to finish the rest of the stuff in the next, what is it, 59 years?
59 years.
Like
I'm just glad we're getting like a lot more insight to what's going on besides a teaser trailer than a boop like 8 years later.
Yeah.
You know, we're getting a lot more
It's
feedback on
finally
what's
frequent,
going on.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you won't see much from Elder Scrolls for a very long time after
forever. That's.
Can we say
that's
for 1
gone.
second, Doom Eternal looks amazing.
Doom Eternal looks so good.
That's also another thing that
I forgot
It looks
about
so
QuakeCon,
good.
but Doom Eternal looks like the greatest
Yeah.
game
Is there anything you want to talk about from Gamescom?
I mean, obviously, Life is Strange 2.
I'm very
As-
excited. I'm still very excited.
I'm excited for that one because I don't like there was no Chloe from Life is Strange Before the Storm, so.
Oh, I know
You-
about
usually
Chloe. You know me and my point and clicks. I know about her.
No, there was just like it was a totally different. Like I think there was two brothers. I want to assume that it was. I have to go back and watch the trailer, but it looks like the storm is happening, and that in the first Life is Strange, we saw that they were starting to show the storm near the lighthouse. So we still don't know exactly how this storm is happening and what's causing it. But I mean, they've done such a great job with the story, and then I love how that you can kind of get a sense that somehow this is all going to
It's all
come
gonna be
full circle.
interconnected.
Now, do you think, just maybe, Life is Strange, Battle Royale? You said about a storm.
So like the Life is Strange 2,
Completely ignored it.
it looks exciting, and I believe it comes out September. The
I
first
also
episode.
have a joke question. Do you think at the end of Life is Strange 2, they're gonna like the brothers are gonna complete their problem, right? Then you'll see in the background like, and then Mr. Nick Fury comes out. He's like, "You boys did good, but we got a problem."
We got an initiative coming together.
And then he has a little pager and it shows that's his little M, and it cuts to black. I hope it's that. I hope
my God.
the Life is Strange people
The ultimate cinematic universe.
get into the Avengers. That would be, honestly, once again, I've been saying this for a while, creators of major media, even if they don't amount to anything, if you put that into your game and it means absolutely nothing for the future and you just come out and say it was a joke, do it please, because that would be amazing to experience that firsthand. Just, and like random crossovers, just do them as jokes. That would be so amazing, you know?
You finish the next Elder Scrolls game, and then you're sitting in your palace, and some guy takes his helmet off.
So you killed that dragon, huh? We got a problem in New York
You ever
City.
heard of Thanos?
And then it goes, but instead of New York City, it's New Donk City.
Oh no!
Triple crossover.
Oh my God! The
So
greatest
please,
universe.
please, creators, do more of that stuff. I'd love it. I would
greatest thing
absolutely
ever.
be amazed by that. Anything else from Gamescom I want to talk about?
I mean, another like point and click game. Obviously, we talked about the Dark Pictures anthology.
I hope
They
they're
said
doing.
I think it's supposed to be going to be a new series. So
I hope they're just doing like classic. Here are some American monsters. Here's some kids interacting with them. Story time. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah,
Until Dawn, like we talked about, fantastic game.
yeah, I
I'd
really
love to
liked
see
it.
that monster stuff.
It was like, hey, let's put a scare movie into a game. Like, this is not going to be good, and then it was actually really good. So, I'm excited for those because I did play the 1 hour Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit for Life is Strange 2, which was
I downloaded
not
it.
at all what I expected because, it takes like an hour to go through, and it's just follows the story of his personal life and what he's struggling with. But I don't know how that's
And into that,
how that again. I don't know how that's all going to come full circle. You guys want to talk about Jump Force, new characters?
It looks terrible.
Okay.
That's my Willem Dafoe version.
We just know that Jump Force is going to be an esport. It's going to be crazy. I
I'm-
have this feeling that it's going to be a very similar fan base to like anime fans going into like a Killer Instinct mode,
I'm
The ultimate
surprised.
one.
where they just
I'm surprised they were like a main spot at Gamescom. I was expecting just seeing this as a side thing and purely as a side thing. They're putting stock into this. That's a bad idea. This is not going to do well. I don't know if
there's
you
no
guys.
Piccolo or Aaron from Attack on Titan. So, and they said the people from Death Note are in the game, but they're not playable because they'd be
they're like,
overpowered.
like the narrators
because-
or whatever.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys know these kind of games before, where like they're 3D fighter battle map things. There's a billion of them. Most of them are terrible.
Any Dragon Ball Z game.
Yeah, there's a billion Naruto ones. Like most of them are terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know if a crossover. Like I just talked about how crossovers are great. I don't know if it's gonna work here.
I don't know about this one.
Especially when they all look like jelly men. So we'll just have to see.
You should ask PlayStation how All Stars Battle Royale. What was it called? Remember that game? PlayStation All Stars
Capcom
Battle
versus
Royale. No.
Nathan
PlayStation
Drake?
came out with their own Smash game. Remember?
Yeah, it was called
like-
like
with,
PlayStation.
Nathan Drake or
Yeah,
All Stars Battle Royale, I think is what it was called. So
Terrible.
they called Battle Royale like a long time
Something
ago.
like that.
a terrible idea. That game was a terrible idea. This game was.
Where's my Master Chief?
We're Master Chief Collection.
So the news about the Saints Row the Third coming to Switch, I thought was very
How old is that game now?
random. Like that was
Yeah.
what 2011.
That's kind of all such announcements for ports. It's like, hey, here's a random thing that we just threw at the
Remember this
wall.
game?
Yeah, remember this? It's on Switch now. Everyone's like, whoa, okay.
Do you
I'll
think
play that.
they contacted Nintendo and like, hey, we want to put our Saints Row game on the Switch? And
Yeah,
maybe
and
Nintendo
Nintendo's
was
like,
like, your
sure.
game sucks and didn't sell. And they're like, well, what about the third? And I'm like, oh, okay.
Reggie's like, I'm on it.
That was a good one.
I think it's honestly just Nintendo kind of opened their doors and like, if everyone wants to do it, just call us and we'll
Need
do
new
it.
games.
We don't care.
Come on in.
Yeah,
Did either of you guys watch the new Battlefield trailers?
I did a little bit. Battlefield. I'll say this about the Battlefield 5.
I'm nervous about it, but
It looks like more classical Battlefield games. Not saying that's a good thing. I've never really been a fan of Battlefield games because they're just kind of like boring, you know. Like the matches last like 2 hours long, and you don't really know what you're doing. At the end, it's like you won. It's like okay, I guess that's real war. So I guess that's kind of accurate.
someone just tells you like, hey, we won.
Oh really?
I don't have to run again?
All my friends are dead, but sure. So you know, I like it better than some of the more recent Battlefield stuff that's coming out. Like you know, going back to I'll say probably when it started losing me was around Hardline. I was kind of like, I don't care. Battlefield 1, I was like, sure. Like I was excited for World War 1, then it's like, well, it's you know, it's a Battlefield with a World War 1 skin, so nothing really changed. So it's like, okay, whatever. I mean, this one has some interesting stuff with the building mechanics, but once again, it's like, it's just another Battlefield game.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's just keep giving it to
you
us,
haven't
I
tried
guess,
since
you know?
Bad Company to innovate.
No.
Like,
That would be-
it's really been that long.
Just bring it back again.
Just do Bad Company again because that game was amazing and like it was quirky and weird, but it's like the past 7 Battlefield games have just been you're a guy shooting stuff and it's all gray.
Here's a map.
Here's a map and you don't know what's going
big.
on. Yeah, 100 players. But yeah, so okay, sure.
Ryan, any takes on the Battlefield?
I like Battlefield.
Moving on.
Moving on. No, I like World War II. I'm glad that's going back to World War II. We'll see how it goes though. It looks interesting, but again, like John said, it's Battlefield. It's not much different than
It's standard
anything
stuff.
else.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't say Chris Cannonballs again. Don't you dare.
so the
My
next one.
$60 is gonna come to
Don't
pay.
you dare
Don't you
mention
wait.
that.
Don't you
So
worry.
what did you see from Storm Divers? Does it look like another failed
Well, it
Battle
looks
Royale
like
game, or-
I'm gonna
ODST.
say yes. I haven't
It's
seen
like
anything from it, I'm gonna say
ODST. You
yes.
drop in like a pod. You come out. She walks out. She's got a sword on her back. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. Stab some guy. Then she gets shot, and then they have like a little like speed bike thing. And
Oh,
then
like
you,
PUBG?
You can put up
Somebody
a
brought a gun to a sword.
A sword dog
and she
gunfight.
won.
Gunfight.
And she won the first
She
one.
went behind him, and then she got shot.
Like Fortnite.
You can put up like a little portable shield.
Oh.
And
Like
also
PUBG.
it just looked really early access. Like people were just like really like stiff and there's
Bad?
just some trees.
So I don't care if people want to rip people off with these fake games, right? What I care about is why do they keep getting center stage?
I don't know.
Why do they keep getting like these top spots of why I don't
Because it's what people want, John. They want battle royale.
like Paladins was a joke,
It
right?
was.
But now they're a major game developer and esports conference. Like what happened to the world? Can't you just take the credit card from a 12-year-old for 1 minute? Just don't buy any V-Bucks today.
Battle
Come
Royale.
on,
Well, if you get the
guys.
new Galaxy phone, apparently you get like 15,000 V-Bucks. So I might be switching over to. I'm just kidding.
Some advertising executive
15,000.
said that.
I think it's like 15,000.
And the CEO was like, "What?"
You know how much money that is?
My father like doesn't really know much about Fortnite, but he was like, "Hey, I saw an advertisement that if you get the new Samsung, you get Fortnite for free." And I was like,
Oh, really?
Dad, Fortnite's a free game."
Are V-Bucks the new Bitcoin?
It is.
Is
I was-
Starbucks saying, like, go to Starbucks, 500 V-Bucks, you get a grande
When we were at RTX, the Rooster Teeth convention, of
course.
we were walking. Yeah, of course. I was thinking of RTX, the new
The
new
G,
graphics card.
the graphics card.
No, but I I was walking around asking people if they want to buy some V-Bucks.
You wanna buy
I
some
was walking, you
V-Bucks?
want to buy some V-Bucks?
You go to Matt Peak working the Funhouse merch store. Like, can I get this T-shirt with
I talked
V-Bucks?
to that man for a minute. That was awesome.
Matt Peak's a good boy.
He's a nice
You
man.
might be the only person left on this planet that's playing PUBG. So how do you feel that Xbox said we're getting the 1.0 full launch?
I don't care
ready to
about
go?
Xbox anymore. It's PC for life.
Yeah, but they're getting the full
I don't
launch.
care.
PC for life.
Full
PUBG's
launch.
okay. I come back to it and I play like a game or two and I'm like, wow, there was so much dead
Are we
time.
done with Gamescom?
Yeah, I'm done.
tired of Gamescom.
Do you guys like
move on.
Legos?
I'm tired of. Shut
No
up.
one
Shut up.
What'd you do this summer?
What
John?
we do this summer, I tell you what I did this summer. First off, I played 1 billion hours of For Honor. I absolutely love that game. It's so amazing. My main is the Gladiator, or the Shaman, or the Highlander, or the Centurion.
That's like everyone.
That's my squad. Those are my boys. All right?
Get some
Live with
loops
that
for your
crew, die with
brothers.
that crew. All those bros got loops. I'll tell you what. But beyond that, right, I was thinking, you know what? I saw the E3. I saw the Nintendo's. I want to give me a Switch.
Oh.
So you know what I did? I done they got me a Switch.
Hey,
I'll tell you
nice.
what. Of all the gaming purchases I've ever made, I have not been happier than I am with the Switch. The
awesome.
Switch, I think, is
Thank
an
you,
amazing
Reggie.
console. Absolutely wonderful. There was a big problem that I was experiencing. Right? I'll buy all these indie games on PC, right?
Yeah.
I boot them up for an hour,
Yep.
play them, never touch them again.
Exactly.
I never got the effort. I don't know why. It was some weird configurance. I bought those same games on the Switch. Been playing those things non-stop. The indie community on the Switch is amazing. I love playing games on the Switch. It's a wonderful experience. Wonderful slew of games. Mario Odyssey. Oh boy, is that a good game? So that's mainly what I've been doing.
Okay.
But you guys have a bit more of an exciting experience besides poor consumer decisions.
I don't think I do, really.
Y'all went to
Well-
Ding Dang, Texas.
Oh, we did.
We
went
did,
to
yeah.
Talk to
Austin.
Ding Dang Matt Peak.
I got
How
a picture
was
with
the
Steven's Ding Dang
experience?
Septic.
Ryan and I
Ding Dang
went
something.
to
That was funny.
Ryan and I went to the Rooster Teeth convention in Austin, Texas. With,
We got to see people and
his
talk
brother
about
Justin and our friend Matt.
Yep. Shout out to those guys.
We probably one of the highlights of Ryan and I. We entered the we stood in line for the Overwatch little tournament thing that
Oh,
you're
yeah.
having, and then if you won, you got to compete against everybody that won previously, and you had a chance
Or
to.
possibly the Houston Outlaws.
You got to compete against the Houston Outlaws who were there.
We didn't win.
There were 12. So there were 12 people playing at a time. I finished 9th. I had 10 assists. And then
I
it was
right
going
in the
off
middle.
of kills.
I was fine. I was happy with it.
So, I just
many
saw that I
V-Bucks?
led.
How many
V-Bucks?
did you
I didn't get
judge?
any V-Bucks at all.
I
through
sold
RTX.
all of mine.
You lost all your
Didn't get any through there. But RTX was fun. We got to see a lot of our favorite guys and from Rooster
Nathan met
Teeth. And
Mrs. Alana Pierce.
I met Alana Pierce, who was with IGN, and
Now
she
Funhouse.
announced.
Funhouse member.
We were in the
Fantastic
room when
hire.
they announced that she was going to Funhouse,
very
so that was
nice.
really exciting. Got to meet Cow Chop from there. That was a lot of fun too. So we just had a blast. Got to see some cool panels.
Ate some awesome food. Austin, Texas is literally the best city in America.
Austin, Texas.
You've heard it here.
So much good food.
It is the greatest place in
So much good
America.
food.
Go to it no matter what reason.
And you
It's
think
just-
we're crazy? If you Google best cities to live in the U.S., Austin, Texas, I found 2 articles is number 1.
It's like 6.
It's the number 1. I've seen it in 2 articles.
It's like
Number 1.
6 down.
I'm just throwing that out there. But basically,
And
we went
cost
to
of
RTX.
living, average.
Yeah, so
It's
we
pretty
went,
okay.
It's not too bad.
Pretty okay.
RTX was great, and other than that, I worked a lot this summer. But games that I played, I mean, I'm just that guy. Like I play a lot of the new Madden that came out, and I did experience the little Captain Spirit.
Did you feel?
I mean, it was an interesting hour. Like, here's something while we're working on the next game.
Right.
But again, like I said, I'm very curious of how everything's going to come full circle because I played that and I was like, okay, how is this supposed to attach what happened before? And then I just trust them because they always do it. So Square Enix has done a great job with that. The new Madden, I mean,
Long
like,
shot, dude. Don't forget about long shot mode.
okay, just give me.
You play
just-
for the
Can I have
Cowboys.
a moment? Okay, so EA, I don't know if you're watching this, okay, but why? Long shot. So you took long shot season 1, I guess we'll call it, from the previous Madden, and you're like, hey, this is Devin Wade. You're playing as this guy trying to make a team.
His dad's
I'm like,
Mahershala
oh,
Ali.
we're gonna. You put it in the commercial. I'm gonna be in the NFL Combine. I'm gonna get drafted. I'm gonna like get an agent and do all this stuff.
Is it some loops?
You are on a game show
Woo!
called Long Shot. trying to make your way back into playing football.
You can't just go through
And
the
at the
NFL.
very end,
you got to go in a
at the
game
very
show.
end, based on like choices I made, which I don't know, like I threw to the left instead of the right or something like that. I went undrafted.
It's point and click.
And I signed with the Jags.
Football,
I'm like, cool, I signed with the Jags, and the credits roll, never wore a Jags uniform. so then they announced long shot again, and I was like, oh, I'm going to need to play as the Jags now. And they're like, no, you are playing for the Dallas Cowboys, whether you like it or not.
America's favorite team.
And I was like, okay, so what was the whole point of the previous story? And then they go back to his friend Colt, who didn't make an NFL roster, so he's a singer.
Country star.
And then he like tries to make his long shot and has deals with his personal life. And then you get like acquired by the Houston Texans, and you're meeting players that you don't care about.
Boys,
and then
I have one question.
You don't play, John.
Is this a Spike Lee joint?
It might as well be.
Is this an NBA 2K17 Spike Lee joint?
It might as well be.
So it's like,
does freak vibrations come into the play here anywhere?
Like I'm a Madden fan, so like the rest of the game is okay, and I'm enjoying it, and the franchise is fun as always. But like, long shot just doesn't need to happen at all if you're gonna do it with a game show, because when they made, I mean, that was the biggest clickbait of all time, because they were like, hey, you're going to be in a combine and everything. You get there, and they're like, hey, we're trying to figure out who's going to be in this game show. I'm like,
go to Jeopardy.
And if you say no to it, you still end up
Oh, no,
on
he was like, this agent comes up to you, he's like, we really want you in this game show. And I was like, no, I don't want to be on a game show. And then you end up on the game show.
It just got
so what's the point of choice if, like, there's no alternative story? So, EA, I'm sorry. Your games are okay.
Yeah, but here comes FIFA. They're doing the same thing.
Spike Lee joint. FIFA.
Oh, and then, real quick. So their other story, The Journey with FIFA.
There's two.
There's another one called
for
The Journey.
FIFA.
This is where it gets better. They're like, we're going to make it good. We're going to be a guy named Alex Hunter, and you're going to play as this guy, and you're going to pick your team, you're going to play for him. You actually play for the team. Then Ryan sent me a trailer. They announced a new addition to this story, and you're just automatically playing for Manchester United, whether you want to play for them or not.
Hates.
So I'm like, wait a minute. So now I'm getting forced to play for a team. Like, that's just the story, and I can't stand that team. So
Not even Arsenal.
no, Man City. That's what I'm all about. So it's
I don't
just
care
like,
about soccer.
I just don't understand. It's like, oh, you're gonna have choices, but when you make the choice,
It doesn't
we
matter.
don't care. We're gonna force this story that you don't want anyway.
Man, you probably paid him enough.
So
money.
EA, all I ask is either you give us a game with better choices, or just don't make it at all. And that's my rant.
Don't worry, they're gonna see.
Ryan, what Telltale football games did you play this summer?
Well, I did actually. I played Madden.
Madden is a telltale game now.
So
with bad choices.
basically,
no repercussions.
I finished spring semester, and I'm just grinding Fortnite because I'm all about the. I'm all about the V-Bucks. I'm not kidding though. I did actually play it a lot. And I played it for a while. And I did well.
You had there was some urgency.
That's why when you said you guys had better summers, I was like, I don't know what games we played. Like,
Other than going to Austin, I went to DC as well. That's another story.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a cool place right now. Anyway,
what did Donald Trump play this summer?
he wasn't in town.
So how'd your V-Bucks? Go
So
back to V-Bucks.
V-Bucks, I won for a while. I did good. New season started. New Fortnite season kind of sucks. The skins suck. It's boring. Anyway, I'm getting off of it. So
All about the V-Bucks.
So
baby.
Nathan, me, my brother Justin, and our friend Matt. Shout out again. We decided they had the next update. It's called the next update, No Man's Sky.
That's also true.
It was on sale for $30 on
about
PC. I had $15 on there. I'm like, all right, I'll spend $15, see if it's worth it. It was. I played about 20 to 25 hours of it. I got my survival fix, and the game is actually what I thought it was going to be originally.
It's actually good now.
It's actually fun. I'm going to go back to it at some point. Right now, I'm just not in the mood. So played that for a little bit. Went to Texas. Now I'm back, and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting Premiere. I got EA Access Premiere. It's
Yep,
$100.
I got that as well.
It's $100 for a year. It's a good deal if you're going to get at least 2 of the games, because that's $120 for 2 games. Spend $100, you get 40 games at least. So I got that. I've been playing some Madden, throwing some touchdowns with the good old pigskin. I haven't played long shot at all.
I wouldn't do that.
And then
Wasted
I played.
2 hours.
What else did I play? I built a house on The Sims. The Sims 4.
Yeah, he's turning into my girlfriend. He's just playing Sims now.
It's really nice.
So. With No Man's Sky, Yahtzee had a pretty good point. I think he reviewed it, or at least he talked about it, where he said it's at a point now where it's just like all the other massive pile of sandbox games. I kind of see it as that.
Yeah.
Do you like, and this is including like all the ill will that's been happening, all the years of post-release development it's taken. Do you think it will hold up? Has it lost you guys? Are you barely there? Are you all the way in? Where are you at with No Man's Sky?
When we first got it, at least for me, I was like, all right, they finally fixed it.
We spent a lot of time.
Sean Murray of Hello Games, you did your job. And just looking at reviews, like they went from like mostly negative overall to mixed, which is like that's like going from like an F to a C.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah.
And then the recent reviews were mostly positive. So I'm like, okay, this is it's looking good. I hope they add more because with what it is, I can't see myself playing like all the time. But
right.
If they add more, fighting into it or more building options or something, then I think it'll be above what.
Yeah, when we played, we still noticed that there were still some technical difficulties that they were dealing with trying to fix the game. But I mean, I definitely had a lot more fun playing with other people than I did when I first got it and I was playing by myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I just had no care. I didn't want to do any of this stuff. I'm like, I want to go do something else. And I think right after when I first gave up No Man's Sky, I want to say For Honor was coming out like right around that time when I played it. So I was like, went to that. That lasted 2 weeks. And I don't remember what I went on to that after that.
It is free on Steam right now, though. So
For Honor is free on Steam.
But it is another 50 gigabytes.
But
I suggest it. Good game.
The final question that I wanted to ask on the show is, my friend and I were discussing, do we think, as we see with EA Premier, streaming services such as Netflix will be
Game Pass.
the main thing? Like you won't really see, like obviously you'll see like how they sell Blu-ray movies and they sell stuff like that.
Of course.
Sales will, like they won't exist. Like they would just won't, and 5 to 10 years from now, just like Netflix, people will be like, oh, why don't you have, it's almost like a common thing that people have Netflix.
Yeah.
You expect someone else to have Netflix. Like a professor will tell you like, when you have Netflix, go and watch Netflix and watch this. Because they expect you to have it, it's just a thing. Do we expect that in gaming? Do we expect that?
I thought we were going to ask
someone's going to be like, oh, how come you don't have Premiere? Like why would you spend $60 on a game and it's $15 a month? That's like, it's going to be a common norm in like, do we say 5 years?
I thought he was going to ask, do we think, the basic question, do we think game developers will have this? Obvious answer, yes. That's a much more interesting question. Glad you asked it. I definitely think so. It's getting to a point where people are getting pretty tired of physical releases. Talking about the Switch, and I've been involved with Switch news nowadays. The Banner Saga. I played the first one on the Switch. Fantastic trilogy. I'm going to play them all. But they're releasing the trilogy pack for the Switch, and there is some complaining going on because, as we all know, the Switch cartridges can fit about 16 gigs on there, or I think 10 gigs maybe. All 3 Banner Saga games are not even close to that. They'll have some space. But the little disc they're giving out is one that is a lot cheaply made. It has like barely any space on it. And basically when you plug it in, it'll pop up a thing saying, hey, download the things from the store.
Right.
That's how we saw with, I don't know if you guys saw the Spyro, the new Spyro game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they were saying, oh, this game's going to come with 3 Spyro games, like the original 3 remastered or reignited, as they want to say. But the first one, if you buy the disc copy, the first one is on the disc, and you have to download the other 2. It gives you like a pass or a code or something to download the other 2 because it could not hold all 3 games.
And they don't want to
disc.
pay the extra money to have a bigger disc.
So they're like, you might as well just download it because the disc copy's not.
And just with that, I think it's more of a thing where developers are just getting tired of having to put out for these larger size. I mean, for Banner Saga's case, the standard size disc and cartridges. So I think game developers want to push, obviously, for these downloadable things because they don't have to deal with shipping, they don't have to deal with manufacturing, purchasing cartridges from Nintendo or any of that crap. So I think developers are going towards that. I think a majority of the consumer base doesn't care about physical releases anymore. No. Some people like Logan and his Steelbooks do, but I mean, even nowadays you get the collector's edition, you still get the statue, and you just get a little code,
right?
And that's fine. That's what they did with Wolfenstein. Like that's totally fine. So. I don't know if it'll become as if close to Netflix the norm because as we know Netflix is $7. Premiere is like
$15 a month
for a year.
$100 for a year.
A little bit more expensive, and also it's EA, so not everyone goes for that. Yeah. That's the thing with Netflix. You're not just subscribing to Netflix shows; you have the whole roster. Exactly. I think if there's a system somehow in some world, right, where it's literally Netflix for games, and you have access to a slew of games, if that somehow exists. And it's purely digital, because like GameFly was doing that, Netflix was doing that.
But that's not GameFly is no longer existing, right?
It's all physical. right?
Yeah.
Right, because but there's even on my smart TV, there's an app for GameFly where
Really?
you can stream stuff. I think.
Oh.
And obviously PlayStation Now, you can stream games and things
Yeah.
like that sort. But I downloaded the app and I clicked on it and it said oh, this app is no longer available. We appreciate all of our fans and support. But that makes me question how come there's nobody that sees what Netflix is doing and trying to, if there's something legally, I guess they're trying to do.
I think it's honestly a thing right now. It's just purely cost because, as we all know, games are one of the most expensive mediums to make.
Yep.
However, games are also one of the most profitable entertainment industries in the world. So it's waiting for that moment for some genius to come up and say, hey, here's the perfect model to do this, and get everybody on board. I think we're in that space right because around when GameFly was happening, physical was still huge.
Right.
People were still into it. It was all about consoles, all about home consoles. Now we're getting into PC is growing as a player base. Portable games are growing as a player base. Xbox is basically a PC at this point. PS4 is just going for exclusives, but all their digital stores are growing
Right.
in just amount of content. I think we're in the perfect place for some genius to come up and say, hey, all you game industry people, all you developers,
Where's Elon Musk?
where's Elon
Elon.
Musk? And just say, here's the perfect platform, here's the perfect price point, here's the perfect rental system or whatever you want to do with it. We're just waiting for that person.
But we can see,
honestly.
Netflix obviously doesn't have everything that people want on there, but
Right.
they're constantly trying to add as much as they
Exactly.
can. But they have to get the rights from those people to put it on the streaming service because
Exactly.
I'm sure there's some kind of contract they have to work out because they're not going to make any physical sales from that movie as much anymore
Right.
once it goes on the service.
Exactly.
So video game companies are going to have to agree that, okay, we're going
Figure
to
out some-
sacrifice digital and physical sales for ourselves and get money from you guys from it. See how many people play the game on that service.
So as a short answer to your question, the way the industry is looking right now, no. Once that major change happens, I think most definitely.
Yeah.
Because if we see EA get really successful with Premiere,
Give me Bethesda.
my fear is that
I'll pay.
we're gonna ask for these streaming services,
Right.
but EA is doing it by themselves. So other companies,
start doing it by
Bethesda,
themselves.
Square Enix,
That would be the worst case scenario.
Activision, all these companies are just gonna create their own services.
They
So
have to pay
by
for each
next
one.
E3, they could just say, hey, we're working on our own streaming service. And people are like, oh, that's awesome because I'm gonna save money. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
But then you're collectively
Everything.
subscribing to all of these different companies. So that's my fear of the future of gaming. I don't know if this is the dean calling it. I'm just seeing some streaming services and how popular streaming is becoming, and seeing PlayStation Now and Xbox
Yeah.
Game Pass, and now EA is doing their own thing, and we're loving it. But
So
if
far.
other companies
So far,
do it
we're
as
loving
well, you're just going to be spending a lot more money on subscription.
I think like I said, as soon as someone makes that platform, we'll be good. Any of their closing thoughts running a little bit longer than normal? Anything we want to
Anything?
say?
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, everybody. Live your life.
Get
Enjoy,
V-Bucks.
enjoy
Play
your
some
times.
V-Bucks.
Play some
Play
V-Bucks.
V-Bucks Battlegrounds.
I'm John Silent McCrone.
Bye-bye.
I've been joined by.
Nathan Dean.
And I'm Ryan Taronis.
Let's cut to the credits cam now, Carly. This is
Bye
the Birds of
bye.
Play. See you next time. Well, that was a good Birds of Play episode. But there's some trouble in New York City, and we're making a team. And I need you boys to get on this spaceship to go with Iron Man. I don't know. I haven't seen those movies. I don't know how it goes.
I don't know who I
how
could
it
see
talks.
doing that stream service next after EA.
It's going to be something completely new, I think. It's going to be something completely new. Some new company's going to get made that's going to do
It
it.
better.
It better. It's going to be something new and
Games
sparkling.
X by Elon Musk.
We're calling it Games X, Elon Musk, 2017.
And you get a
Check us out.
flamethrower.